Hey folks, Marcus here. It's a beautiful day for music. It's a wonderful day for sound. The first drum corps show happened in Colorado. Drums along the Rockies, I think is what they call it. Jay Brooks, Jay Boogie was the drum judge. Listing from the order of placement. Boston won drums for the night. Blue Devils came in second. Troopers were in third. Blue Knights were in fourth, and then the Colts were in fifth. Let's talk about it just a little bit. So we know that it's broken up into two boxes, right? You have the content box and you have the achievement box, right? What was written? How are you playing it? Yes. Boston won both of those particular boxes. So content box, they had a 7.6. Blue Devils had a 7.1. Which is actually a nice kind of spread in between there. After that, the Troopers had a 7, right? So keep in mind, in the content box, that's important. The Blue Devils and the Troopers were only 0.1 away. That's something to kind of think about. After that, the Blue Knights had a 6.8, and then the Colts had a 6.6. In the achievement box, so how they actually played, Boston had a 7.4. Blue Devils had a 7.2. So that's a 0.2 spread. Troopers had a 6.8. So it's a little bit more of a spread there. Blue Knights had a 6.5 and the Colts had a 6.3. Now, along with that, I don't know. I think it might be a tuning thing. The Colts just sound super thick and a little fuzzy. That was on the stream, right? It's hard to make for real calls on the stream, but just based off of listening to the same mics, the same audio all night, they just sound thick, right? Which can be a good thing, right? The snare drums sound chunky, they sound meaty, but it was something probably about the snare response that was not working in their favor. Maybe it just needs to be a little bit of a shorter sound. Or they could have just had a bad opening night, right? As far as the people not necessarily locking in the way that they normally do. The good thing about the Colts is that their staff is incredibly educationally sound, right? I'll say it like that. The way that they move their hands is just very no nonsense. They're going to clean up. It's going to be balanced. It is going to be good. I will say, out of the whole night, from the standpoint of like, I have something to prove, I felt like the Troopers were really putting it out there. The energy that the drums were playing with, the energy that the front was playing with, I felt like they really, I don't know, there just seems to be this push for them that they really want to say something, that they really want to sort of move to the next level. The Blue Devils and Boston have very hard material. It is difficult, right? And they're playing a lot. One of the things that I really appreciate about Boston, and it happened last year also, I really feel like they're giving more and more opportunities to their front ensemble where, they always pulled the battery card. Anytime there was a percussion window, it was always like, let's play all of this really cool stuff in the battery, but then half of the percussion section, which is the front ensemble, had to kind of take a back seat in order to clear out some of the texture so it could be readable from up top. Everybody can't play hard stuff all the time. And if you try to do that, it's just not going, even if it's clean, it's not going to be readable. The focus is just going to be everywhere and there's not going to be a clear voice. And you have to have a clarity of intent, a clarity of voice when you're doing this stuff. So I think sometimes, because they could, in the past, they've given that voice to the battery where the front ensemble was totally able to take it. They just happen to give it to another particular section within the percussion. So I'm glad to see their front is playing a lot more stuff. They've always been capable. We just now get to see some of those moments for them. I think the Blue Devils front has beautiful moments of just virtuosity, but then also I feel like there's something different about just the touch this year. Like they have moments of just space in between their notes and then these density kind of moments. And it kind of, goes back and forth. And I really appreciate that. Of course, their battery is slamming, and they're going to start to really hone it in. I feel like, especially within their snare line, it's a few of them just move their hands different for me. Like the way that their hands move throughout the air. They're hitting the drum at the same time, which is great. But I think those small little how I play drums as an individual differences will start to smooth itself out over the season. It always does. The bass drum tuning sounds a little weird to me, and I'm pretty sure that was just the mics. Once again, it's super hard to read on the actual video what's happening in real life. So when you get to hear them in for real life in the acoustic space that the drums were tuned for, that's when you really get to hear the nuance of tuning, balance, blend by themselves in the lot. And then of course, more importantly, on the field while they're playing with the winds, right? I think that's a super important thing. So overall, we had Boston with a 15.0. We had Blue Devils with a 14.3. We had Troopers with a 13.8. That's third. We had the Knights with the 13.3. And then we had the Colts with a 12.9. Once again, I really do think that's they just probably didn't have the kind of show that they want. I audibly heard on the stream twice that the front ensemble just ripped out of some of these runs and some of their more physical moments, right? And that could be, a bunch of different things. But I think tuning got them, and then it's just some clarity issues. But I'm sure they're going to clean it up. It's going to be awesome. I think out of all the shows of the night, I think I really liked the Colts show. I really liked, of course, Boston's show. I think the Troopers have, I don't know. I would be interested to see how their show develops over the course of the season. But once again, it's just something about their energy. Something about their energy. And if I can feel that through a live stream, watching it through like a little, my little phone camera with some headphones and things, I can't wait to see it live and things. Let me know what you guys think about the things. And leave me some of your thoughts in the comments. Deuce.